Alright boys, something a little bit different today. We're going to go through the season review. I've just managed to hang on to my job. So we're just going to go through, look at the season, look at a few key attributes, how players have declined, how players have improved, what tactic we're going to go with for next season. We've finished with the tactic and it's done quite well. It should be a little bit of fun. It's quite out there. It's very much like the settable tactic in the special one. So hopefully that'll bring us good luck. Let's get into it. Now, this is the tactic that we're going to just try and rock with over. We've had some interesting comments over the last few days about the tactic and changing things and stuff. And it's kind of got to the point where we've been trying to just find a balance with the players that have come through and nothing has kind of worked. So we're just going to go with a very, very basic. It's very similar to the 4-2-4 Porto. I have made a couple of tweaks. We've got Pacheco playing up front because he scored a couple of goals. Since he played up front, he scored 3 goals and 2 assists. But we're playing with as a Trequartista. We have got a couple of players that can do it. Serrano can kind of fill in, but as a Trequartista, he's actually very good. I did worry about him sort of like physically in the middle of midfield. He's not the biggest, he's not the strongest. So I thought this was a way of getting him into the side, get another player in. Serrano can do it, Arezzo can kind of do it as backup, so we've kind of got cover in that area. Williams then as well can play on the right hand side as an advanced forward or pressing forward. We've got options out wide with Monain, Serrano, Arezzo, Juan Fuerte can play out there. We've got a couple of other youngsters coming through, so we've got plenty of options there. Middle of the pack, we're strong in terms of numbers. We've got Nolskin, Sanchez, Vencedor. They're all adequate. Vencedor in particular is not great. Herrera's reaching the age now where he's probably a little bit too old. Yeah, he's now 35, bad physicals, so we're going to sort of like look at moving him out. I think next season, Nolskin's done all right in there for me. But I think now it's time that we really look at Ander Ortega. 6'4", 19 years old. I think it's a season where we give him an opportunity to play. We're doing a ball winning midfielder, so he can go in there, no problem. Martinez is on the downward now. He is 34. He's actually only valued at 850k. He's got a year left on his deal. Next year will probably be his last season, so we need to look at phasing him out. The issue that I've got is Nunes is a very good centre half. But we're planning on using him at right. We're a little bit short at right back because what I am doing is I'm allowing the left footer to go on, the left sided to attack, and then we're sitting the right back in a little bit narrow. Now, once again, we've got Azpilicueta who can do that sort of like defensive duties and sitting narrow, but once again, not the quickest. So we may have to look at giving Nolskin, as I've been calling him, a go at centre half. He's not amazing. That's the problem. Obviously, we're not going to do many transfers. We've got a couple of players that could probably come through in the next couple of years in the youth team. But yeah, that's what we're rocking with now. To finish off the season after the shambles of the last episode, we went through a run here. We got to the end of the season. We moved 4-2-4 wide. We had decent results. Valladolid, Zaragoza's Valladolid, they packed the bus. So I thought that was still a decent result. We opened it up second half 3-2 against Real Betis, and then we've just lost 2-3 at Atleti, and we were 2-0 up with 23 minutes to go, and they scored 3 goals. The board wanted to get me in for a chat. We've had the chat about losing my job, and I said, it was something about convincing them that I was the best man for the job. They kind of agreed, but they've taken some responsibilities away from me. Now, I don't know what those responsibilities are. So we're going to dive in. New season, fresh start, tactic keep the same. I need to really focus on training again because I've been a little bit sloppy with that over the last few weeks. And also set pieces. We need to get set pieces sorted out. Now, someone has suggested, I'll put the comment up now, that we get rid of Unai Simon, which is an option. Unfortunately, he's only got 2 years left on his deal. He wants to leave. And we have got one of my Patreon regens, Pedro Burgessa, kind of waiting in the wings. Now, he's very good. Very good for, 20 years old. Yeah, we if we can get good money for Simon, in terms of 50 million plus, We may let him go because then that'll allow us to get the guy in from Osasuna that we've been tracking for God knows how long. There he is. Unfortunately now he's transfer listed and he's wanted his 55 million release clause. What do they actually want? Yeah, they want the 55. They want the 55. So if I can get rid of Simon, we may do it. Let me know down in the comments what you think to that. Now, what I thought we'd do is kind of dive in and have a look at a couple of the performances and the players generally over the season. If you weren't aware, this is what I tend to do is this as a Patreon extra video. So if you want this every single season, you've got to join the Patreon. Links down in the description for that. But I just thought as we were changing it up a little bit for the new season, trying to go in a little bit of a new direction, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of open it out to everybody to see where we're kind of heading for the new season. So stat-wise, it's not been great. Average ratings, now obviously we know that average ratings have changed a little bit in FM, so we're not expecting too many players over sort of like sevens. I think anyone who's over 7 classes them having a really good season. Ones in around sort of like 6.8 to 7, I'm going to say, have had average seasons. Appearances wise, Unai Simon, the goalkeeper. Sanchez been decent, 11 goals from midfield, only 4 assists. Inaki has come good. Back end of the season, 26 goals, 17 in all competition. 17 in the league. It's actually his best return. Okay. It's actually his best season, and he'd gone the first 14 games with only scoring 1. So, yeah, hopefully next season we'll see a little bit more of him over a regular basis. If we'd have started a little bit better, we may have just maybe grasped that last Europa League spot. Unai Simon, it actually says, has had a very good average rating, 7.17. Goals-wise, this is, I think, the killer. Munayin, 14, which is good. A lot of his are sort of like penalties and that. How many penalties he's had? He's 7 pens, but he is 32. He is on the downturn. I've decided to sort of like put him in advance, inside forward. It's probably not going to be his best position as his pace slows, but we can't just keep relying on a 32-year-old. He's soon to be probably 33. Yeah, he's 33 at Christmas, so yeah, we need to look beyond him. We've got a couple of years left with him, maybe 2 seasons, and then he needs replacing for sure. We have got a couple of youngsters coming through. Fingers crossed, he'll just hold physically for the next sort of like 18 months. Nico Serrano has had another poor season. A little bit sorry for him because I've kind of swapped him around a fair bit. He's played out wide left, he's played wide right, he's played up front, he's played in behind the strikers. So yeah, hopefully with a set tactic, he may come to his own. He's now 22. He's not improved much over the last few years. He's had a couple after his break on season. They're, better than last year, but this needs to be double figures. Needs to be double figures next year. The main man, Juan Forte, has done very well. He will act as good cover next year for us as well. Can play out on both sides. He's actually Trequartista stats, 2.5 star. He's not too shabby, so he's a good option for us to have. I think he's a bit of a unit as well. Yeah, 6'1", still only 16 years old. So we want to give him, how many games has he played this year? 14 and 10. He needs to be probably racking up a good 40 appearances, I think, across different competitions. We're not in the Europa League or Conference League next year, so there's going to be less games, which is going to make it a little bit harder. But I think he's going to have the quality to come in and play a variety of positions for us. Pacheco, as I said, he's going to be our main trequartista for next season. He's coming on nicely, still only 18 years old as well. So I'm quite happy how he's performed over the last few weeks. And another of the youngsters hasn't featured much, but he's still only 19, can do wide areas for us at a push. He's not, to be fair, he's got a little bit of pace. He's got 15 pace, so he can do a couple of jobs. An absolute push. He could probably do trequartista as well, even though it says he's not suitable to it. But I think he could do it. A decent backup, 19 years old. And then the rest is just a bit, I don't know what that was, a bit average across the board. We are just a little bit average, which, to be fair, we finished 9th, our worst finish ever. If we go through the seasons, we finished 9th this year, 55 points. We got 67 the season before, 65 the season before, 74 the season before that, then 68. So yeah, it's been our lowest, way lowest. It's our first one we've had in the 50s. 16 wins, 7 draws, 64 goals scored, but 60 conceded. So we need to fix that. We've obviously conceded way more than, if anything, we've always been good defensively, and we've struggled at the other end. So we just need to tighten up. I think next season with the tactic, it's going to be around that again, but hopefully we can win more games. I think I'll set up another tactic just to park the bus. Maybe a 4-1-4-1, something like that, just to set us in, something that we can switch to. But I'm hoping that this is going to be the tactic for. It'd be nice just to do a season with a tactic without having to change it, so I don't lose my job. So yeah, we're going to go with it. Let me know what you think down below. I think it could be a winner. We've got cover wherever we need it really for this season. Going forward over the next few years, maybe a little bit of an issue at centre half. We've got a decent amount of B teamers. The Bilbao B won the league, so they'll be back in the B League next year. But I was hoping to take a few. We're definitely going to take Burguesa, and we will try and get rid of Simon. Cristobal Herrera, another one of my Patreon regens. He's doing okay, not kicked on at all technically, which is a bit of a worry, but he's had a decent enough season. He did start with us, and then I moved him down. He's probably got another season in the B team. Tiago Ferreira, another youngster's come into it. He's okay physically, 19 years old, another one. I think for next season, we're just going to keep it as we are, and then look at sort of like a fresh start and bring a load of these through. Here's another one that is kind of okay. He's come through our youth system. Left back, which we don't really need, but he's adequate. Our best defender is Unai Solo, only 17 years old. We signed him last season. He's going to have one more season, I think, in the B team, then come through. We've lost a couple of players. More importantly, I've lost Rian Artoza, but yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed he's gone to Villarreal. Physically good, mentally good, but obviously technical's not great. So as I said, there's the league. Obviously, no FA, no Europa League next season, which may help us a little bit. We need to really kick on, and teams like Espanyol, Granada, Real Zaragoza have finished above us this year. Really disappointing. Transfer-wise, I don't think we've got anything to spend. Oh shit! We've got a transfer budget of 21, so I think because of the scenario that we're in, we try and sell Simon, get the young goalkeeper in, and then we make moves for our man, Iso Dominguez. Yeah, I think we need to do it. Luckily, they want a lot of money for him, which is fine. I'm not bothered about spending 55 million on him because we're so limited on options that, I wonder if they're going to all spend 55 million. We need to make that deal done quick. So I think I'm actually going to... Let's just see what happens when we transfer list Simon. I want 50 mil. Let's just put unspecified out and see what happens. I'm not going to transfer list him. Valencia have come straight in with a £26 million deal. That's not good. We do want 50. No. 40 additional fees. Get them up to 32. Come on. Go on, 49.5 would be nice. They've gone for that. Nope, we're still not where we need to be, boys. Let's go to 45. No. Okay, I think there's deals to be done. It's difficult. Goalkeepers is always the most difficult one to kind of get rid of when there's no one, you either want a goalkeeper. I think it's like very much the thing with David De Gea at Man United now. They want to get rid of him, you would have thought, but I don't think there'll be that many takers for him. So we'll see how that gets on. Everything else though, boys, it's about bringing our youth through. We have had another youth intake. Our under-19s have done very well again. Look, I think they always win the league. Yeah, they smash the league and then get knocked out in the playoffs. But we've had a decent youth recruits come through. Two in particular. Mikel Ruiz, centre half. 6'1", already, heading 11, marking 10, tackling 10. Mental's pretty good. Physical's okay. Only 15 years old. Got a lot of admin to do during the season, offering new deals and things like that. We have been given Eon Bilbao. There we go. Once again, yeah, okay. Finishing 10, we'll get that up. 5'10", strength's obviously not great. Pace is going to be good. He's going to be very, very, very fast. He may be okay. Pablo Vado is a 16-year-old that we got through. Paul Crawford, one of my patrons, that's your guy. He's looking okay. Once again, may be able to do a couple of roles for us. Looks like on his face he's had too many pizzas. He's got a little fat face. We need to get that sorted in pre-season. But yeah, there is a few players in the B team as well. There is options for us. I think most of them are just a season or two away. So I think for next season we can get by. Can we make that big transfer? Can we get rid of Simon? Go with what we have. We don't need a big squad for the next season because we've only got the league, and then see where it takes us. We have had a couple of players called up to the under-21s as well. I think one of them is actually in the C team at the moment. There he is. Iker Fernandez. He's been a striker that we played a little bit last year. He's capped at under-19s. He's in the actually under-21 squad as well. He's not great though. He's all right, but he's not absolutely amazing. Especially when you're a striker and your finishing is 10. Could potentially become a Trequartista. His dribbling's not great though, but his mentals are pretty good. His physicals as well are good. So we've got a kind of a load of players that I don't think are going to be quite good enough to move on. And the big thing now with us is age. Last thing we'll do, look at age, look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players already at 30 plus. We have obviously got a lot of young players, but they're big players. Herrera, Martinez, Munayin, Williams, Yarai. Obviously, we're going to get a few more seasons out of Yarai. But it's a little bit of a worry that the board are going to still want us to do so much. And I don't think we're going to be strong enough by the time they kind of move on. But we're going to go for it. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think to the tactic and the vision. I'm going to jump on the training, I promise again. Been a little bit slack with that. We'll get the set pieces going, maybe get a couple of short routines in. If you know any decent little routines, by all means, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, next week, hopefully dive in. New season, new Bilbao.